Hello there, this is Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and this is just a quick update on my little Spectrum project. If you've seen my previous video, the idea was to make one of the excuse me, make a simple compact flash adapter interface for the Spectrum from was it Paraputnik or Paraputnik's design. And all was going well. I'd knocked up the board, and my idea was to use one of these, which is a compact flash to 2.5-inch IDE adapter to get that to connect together. So I would use that, I would use that, which is a 44 pin to 40 pin IDE adapter, to get me to a standard 40 pin header like that. But best laid plans and all that, what I've found out actually is some of the pins you need on the compact flash card, if you look at the compact flash card adapter here, now they are all the pinouts for the compact flash adapter, and not all of them actually go to the 44-way pin connectors there. That only uses what it needs to emulate an IDE hard drive, and to use it in 8-bit mode like I was originally planning to do, you actually need to access some of them connections there, and my hands aren't good enough. I just can't solder onto that anymore. I may have been able to do 10 years ago, but not anymore, unfortunately. So that part of the plan kind of died a bit. So I'm having a few difficulties getting this thing to focus today. Come on, focus. There we go. So the plan now is the same guy that designed that adapter also designed another adapter called the simple 8-bit IDE adapter, which is basically a very, very similar circuit. The only actual difference is it uses I can focus onto it there, one little extra transistor, which I think it's part of a buffer circuit. It's to do with the reset pin on the IDE line anyway. That's as far as I can work out from the circuit diagram. Apart from that, like I say, it's exactly the same. It uses the same little what is it? It's a 74LS10N logic IC. So that's exactly the same as what I was originally going to build. Like I say, all I've had to do is add that little, I think it's a PNP transistor. But what it means is that the Spectrum will be able to run with a hard disk. Now this is out of an old laptop, so it's a small 2.5-inch form factor, which will fit in my case very, very nicely. It's 2 gigabytes. Now, with using the 8-bit IDE, ATA IDE is a 16-bit data transfer, and we are only going to be using 8 bits of it with this simple interface. So even though that's a 2 gig hard drive, I'll only actually be able to format it and use 1 gigabyte of it. But to be frank, a 1 gigabyte hard drive in a Spectrum will pretty much hold every single bit of Spectrum software ever made anywhere ever, and still have plenty of room on it, so I'm not too worried about that. And all I will do is I'll use that adapter there. I'll cut them off and get 5 volts from somewhere. I plan to make a new power supply for the Spectrum anyway, and get rid of the horrible voltage reg that these things use, and the little switch mode transistor which gets you your 12 volts and your 5 and your -5. I might get rid of all that and build my own power supply for it with a bit more of a beefy 5-volt line, so it can run the hard drive straight. That's the idea anyway. Or I also have that hard drive as well, which again should work. I think that's about, I think it's 2.5 gig, that one, so it'd give me about 1.2 1.4 gig formatted on the Spectrum. That is actually a very low hours drive. It was out of a backup computer which never really got used. It's ancient now, but it has got virtually no hours on it. I may use that one. That one, like I say, is out of an old laptop. There's nothing wrong with it. I've formatted it, I've scanned it for bad sectors, and it's absolutely clean as a whistle. But it's probably had a lot more use than that one has. Only other thing I had to do is originally I flashed a ROM there with the software to run the compact flash on it. Obviously that's no good for running simple IDE, so I've had to burn, and I've not put a sticker on that yet to cover the window. I've only just burnt it, but I've had to burn a new ROM which is for the simple IDE. I'll just show you that working now if I can. So if I switch my monitor on, and it's all connected up this, even though it's looking like that. In fact, you can even see that it's all working. I switch my Spectrum on, and as you can see, that's not part of the little LED is not part of the original circuit that came. I've added that just to give me an indication that this circuit's actually working. I've probed about on this on logic with my logic probe and my scope, and yeah, it is actually doing what it's meant to be doing. The chip's in, and if we can see, if we go, I don't know if this is going to work. There we go. Actually, it does work. 8-bit IDE OS, copyright 2000C pt2. So not what you get on a normal Spectrum. The other advantage of this, if I drop the keyboard down, yes, I know this is a DK-Tronics replacement case for the Spectrum with a proper keyboard. Actually refurbished all this keyboard very recently. I will put a video up showing me doing that. But if we look on the Spectrum, there we go. And the nice thing with this is it gets rid of them horrible commands that you used to have on the Spectrum. So if you look, I go 10. I actually have to type now, print, like that. I've obviously made a mistake there, but anyway, you can see that it's working. It works much like the normal basic you'd find on the later Spectrums. Anyway, that's all I've really got going to do today. I'm just showing you that I have got a little bit further on the project. What I need to do now, I've downloaded the software I need onto my computer to be able to format one of these. Format that hard drive to work on the Spectrum and to transfer some images over onto it, which hopefully I will then be able to run on this Spectrum. Okay, thanks for watching, and bye bye for now.